this morning, intending to be back at the ranch before sunrise really began. I loved the forest, I really did, but it only ever wanted my attention when I had other plans. Moments like these were too common to be anything but aggravating. Except, just visible, a family of bone otters floated down a large creek. I shifted back to human and put a hand on the nearest pine. I leaned into it, close enough to smell the faint tinge of vanilla that clung to the pine needles. The forest whistled my name again, softer this time. "Thank you," I whispered, sorry for my earlier grumbling. I'd been wanting a shift that could traverse the water as well as the land. Bone animals were always land mammals, just as ice animals were avian, glass animals reptilian, and flower animals aquatic. As a bone familiar, those bone mammals were the only creatures I could shift into. I didn't normally mind that, even when my cousin took wing and I was left stuck on the ground. But Forest's Edge had flooded horribly last spring, and ever since, I'd wished for a shift that was more capable in the water. It was months too late, but the forest hadn't forgotten my wish. Now, I just had to make room in my heart to claim it. I watched the otters drift together. I'd always thought of otters as playful, but they weren't playing now. They were holding hands. Little paws linked tight as though they couldn't bear to be parted. I could work with that. In order for a familiar to gain a new shift, they need to learn the voice, the essence of that animal. Need to learn it, understand it, and make a place for it inside their own sense of self. I let the longing well up inside me. The love for my family. The hopeless desire that we might one day be whole again. That Gran might be allowed to leave her prison and return to the ranch. To hold hands with us and never let go. An otter nestled in my heart alongside the other voices. I waited a single heartbeat to let it settle. Then I shifted. The other bone otters welcomed me with happy chirps. I bumped my nose on the places where exposed bones stood out starkly against their dark brown fur. Two of the pups pulled me into a game of splashing and diving along the creek bed. We played, happy and carefree, as the dawn rose around us. Then, just as quickly as the otters had accepted me among them, they scattered. The pups gave chirps of fear, and the eldest warning hisses, even as the group fled down the creek. I splashed about for a second as I tried to figure out what had scared my new friends away. The otter I'd become wanted to follow, to stay safe in numbers. But I had a human's mind, and there were few things in the forest that scared me. I swam in circles until I caught sight of the threat. There, in the shadows of a huge pine, was a silver bone wolf. Its fur was too pale to make out the exposed bone, but no normal wolf was that big. Its golden eyes gleamed like miniature versions of the rising sun behind it. I scampered out of the creek. Fallen pine needles clung to my wet paws as I bounded toward the wolf. It waited for me, silent and still, until I got close enough to touch noses with it. Only then did the wolf move. With a weary sigh, it nuzzled into my dripping fur. I shifted, a bit sheepish to have been caught fooling around. My clothes stuck to patches of wet skin and my hair had become a damp, knotted ball. I flung it over a shoulder, trying to hide the mess. "Sorry, Gran." The forest was insane.